Good morning, everyone. Let's have a look at some of these charts. Starting with Bitcoin, which is stronger than I expected, but I like to be pleasantly surprised, which is what it is. Yesterday, we were pushing the top of the range. We expected it to break to move into the death cross, which it did. Rejected from there, but then carried on overnight. That's an unusual situation, I have to say. Normally, Sundays are the worst. Sunday nights into Monday mornings are one of pullbacks, and Mondays, by this time in the morning, you're looking to find a position. Well, unfortunately, I'd say unfortunately. I mean, it depends on which side you want to butter your bread, but you know, unfortunately, we didn't get the pullback, which means that there are no entry points this morning, not comfortable ones. And actually, if anything, we'd probably be looking to pull back soon at $117,000. And then maybe you'll be looking to find yourself within the upper portion of the range, low being 112, high being 117. So obviously, I expected more upside, and I'm pointing to new all-time highs. At the same time, that a lot of people were saying it's all over. In fact, even just yesterday, I saw in my comments on the video, it's going to 100k, bro. And this is all fine because there is a chance that it does go to 100k. But to say that it definitely is, nah. If it does come down to 100k, it's a major opportunity. You've got your double hidden bullish divergence on the weekly. You've got your 50 exponential, all part of the golden cross, where we've been picked up in these two massive consolidations in the past. Now, we haven't seen a we haven't seen a new local or all-time high. To be honest, you need to find a new all-time high in order to beat the local high. So you do need to go up a fair bit to say $100,000 is not on the cards. But if it is, I'm all for it, because you've got your 50 exponential, like I said, it's all part of a weekly golden cross. You've got your 10 exponential as well on the monthly, bang, bang, and then here we go again, bang. Now, you could make the case that we've already revisited these rough areas anyway with the wick that took place this month, but at the same time, if it does come down to these areas, for the monthly it's 102,000, 103, for the weekly it's 100. Cool, but at the moment it does not look like it wants to. Nor does stocks really want to allow for that kind of move down. Not yet, at least. Anyway, not yet. Not now. So we closed above the 20 weekly, which is great, which means that we started above the 20 weekly and the 10 exponential on the weekly, which means that we're likely to keep going up to the top as well. So Bollinger Band strategy would now apply. You're now back above the top of the range, meaning 65% more likely to remain above that portion of the band. So the weekly, as far as we're concerned now, 114,000. So, I mean, that is your Bitcoin. I don't want to take up too much of your valuable Monday mornings. They're hard enough without listening to me drone on. So let's have a quick look at Ethereum, then a quick look at stocks. So Ethereum, 4 hourly, we had the hidden bearish divergence. We carried on beyond the the death cross, and that's good as well. Outside of the 50-50 formation, which is your symmetrical triangle, it's a classical breakout of that. You can now do a measured move since we've broken out overnight. And there's the mouth roughly, there's the breakout, there's the target, which is just beyond the $4,500 zone. That's your next target for Ethereum, $300 more. Take it or leave it. I like it. Again, none of this is entry points because we've broken out overnight on a Sunday into a Monday, which is definitely bullish, but you can only really buy supports. Move to the daily. What do we got here? So we're above again all moving averages. The top of this range, which was your symmetrical triangle, was your 20 and your 21, which has now been broken out from, which is really nice as well. So it's a classic breakout from a formation, from moving averages. Next target, same, 4,500. Moving over to the weekly. Well, we've been above the 20 weekly this whole time, unlike Bitcoin. So you got 1, 2, 3, and now it looks like we're trying to sail above all the moving averages. So what's the implications for altcoins? Well, we did the Patreon stream last night. You can join those, you just need to join the Patreon, do 2 streams a week. But long story short, most altcoins look absolutely the same. There was a few, not many, but there was a few that looked different and actually could do something significant. Yeah, but for the most part, they're all the same. I consider them all oversold, and they're just moving with the market. The market will decide for them whether they go up or down. You know, they're not capable of moving on their own. They're not capable of doing their own thing right now. They're all carbon copies of each other. If you go to the 4-hourly, most altcoins look identical. You couldn't tell one from the other. But there are always a few that are different. And we saw a few of those last night. But overall, though, I believe that Bitcoin and Ethereum will likely go to new all-time highs, which should add a little bit of confidence into the market, give you one of those periods of time where altcoins outperform, but I don't know as it will be over a long period of time. Let's have a look at the dominance chart to see which way it wants to go, because there's arguments for it in either direction. So looking at the 4-hourly, you've got golden cross retest, 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 and you know, last night we were looking for a retest again. Lots of hidden bullish divergence on this one. So to be honest, the 4-hourly does favour a small move down, so a little bit of green for altcoins in the short term to get picked up and outperformed by Bitcoin in the medium term, like as in at some point later on this week, into one of this area of these boxes. So the bottom of the box 61%, top of the box 62.5%. Moving over to the daily is still getting picked up in the centre of a Bollinger Band, but we've got death crosses here and here. So again, looks like it wants to keep going up in the very short term. Medium term, likely to get rejected anywhere between these boxes. And if we move over to the weekly, what does the weekly say? Well, the weekly is bullish on the golden crosses with your hidden bullish divergence. However, a lower low down to around 56% dominance. That is still bullish for the chart structure, but obviously it would mean that altcoins outperform Bitcoin until we get there. So, if you want to make sense of what I just said, altcoins and Bitcoin will take turns, you know, intermittently to outperform each other in the short term until the larger direction is decided. Obviously, this is a significant breakdown so far, but it's still a bullish structure above 56. It's still a bullish structure above 51. So you can come down to all of these areas and get picked up. So yeah, Bitcoin will go up. Some altcoins will go up. The market generally should go up, and they're going to be alternating. And from what it looks like, alternating almost daily. Who's going to do what and when? So there is no one specific direction for alts or Bitcoin in a permanent fixture. It looks like they've both got equal chances to outperform each other, and maybe that's how it's going to go. Maybe you'll have a bit of Bitcoin day, you'll have a catch-up day for alts, then you'll have a catch-up day for Bitcoin. So the dominance chart isn't really giving a great deal away, basically. So if you're in both, just enjoy being in both. And most of us should be in both. Always. Anyway, that is it. Nothing much more to say. I hope that is in some way insightful to you. The market generally looks pretty good. I'm excited for stock market to open up properly, because I'm pretty confident that these crypto stocks are going to be, the pre-market's already opening and it's loving life. So yeah, excellent stuff. When we're going to make some money this week? Well, we're already making money. We're going to make even more. Right, thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.